Hey, what's up, Thunder fans? This is the Thunder guys, Zack and Craig. We are back with another week of Thunder Things with the Thunder guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We're super pumped to be here, as always, ready to talk some Thunder basketball. It was a good week for Thunder fans. It was a long week, it seemed like, because we didn't do much.
Not a lot of
we
games
had two
going
games.
on.
It was so weird. I felt like I had all this free time, so much time for activities. I didn't know what to do with myself almost, but
I don't know what to do with my hands.
right. It's kind of nice though every once in a while to
Get
get,
a little bit of a
that
break.
little bit of a break. It seems like,
Especially with the busy week coming up.
for sure. We got 5 games in the next 8 days, starting with tonight's game against the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to get into talking some pregame preview for that. We're getting started early tonight because we have to finish a little early tonight because Craig and I are going to the game. We're super excited about that. Obviously, love getting to be able to be in the house, in person, in the flesh, to watch the Thunder play. So, yeah, man, I'm super excited to get to go to the game. I know you're excited to get to go to the game. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, and people.
We went ahead and did it.
My friends at work always ask me because they know I go all the time. And I was like, "No, I'm not going tomorrow." So no, I'm gonna show up.
It's always funny because you're like, I don't go to every single game, and some people are like, you pretty much do.
I know.
And it's like, okay, maybe I get to go to a lot of games. So
We're lucky.
Yeah, I really do
We're
feel
blessed.
like we have been blessed with that opportunity to get to do some of that. So, anyways, I'm excited to get to jump in and let's talk some Thunder basketball. So,
Let's do it.
we're gonna go ahead and kick off, do a weekly recap, and see what's been going on with Thunder. Obviously, like we said, short week in terms of games. Played the Lakers last Wednesday. You went to that game, correct?
Yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic, the game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really all
not a
that
lot
close.
going on. Yeah.
I mean, at half, the score was kind of close. Third quarter just came out and blew Los Angeles wide open. I actually didn't get to catch too much of this game, so there's that. But, yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I was looking forward to the game was to see Lonzo Ball. I don't even like the guy. It's just kind of with all the hype around him. It's kind of fun to see.
I mean, there has been a lot of hype around him.
But
I don't really know.
outside of that, I mean, Paul George was average. I mean, 3 of 9 from the 3. Not a lot going on right there. Let's see here. Melo was 10 of 15. Melo had a good game. Melo's been playing good. He had a good week, actually, between this and the Cleveland game. Steven Adams as well. Sometimes it seems like he's never going to miss. I'm like, is this even happening right now? And I dare someone to argue with me that he's not a top 5 center in the league. But
Man, I'm right there with you.
I mean, I know I'm a homer, but
No,
I mean,
it's true though. I feel like I feel like the things that he's doing. First off, I don't think he's going to make the All-Star game, which to me is kind of an atrocity.
Enes Kanter will be disappointed.
It's extremely frustrating because I don't know. I think he's.
I think he's
that
All-Star
good.
worthy. At the same time, would he really fit in an All-Star game though?
Man,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
would it kind of been
I
like,
mean,
when Kawhi Leonard made the All-Star game? It was
guess
just kind of
that's
like,
fair.
what do I do? I'm not out here. You know what? Does that make
yeah,
sense
like,
to you?
Like doing the whole. I mean, I got you. Sorry if I seem distracted. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
you are
figure
really
out-
distracted. It's
We're
distracting
having
me.
some super typical issues. of
My
course.
dream is to one day do an entire
One day
show
not
and not have to deal with
all this
any of
mess.
this.
That would be awesome.
Maybe,
I don't even know where my webcam went, bro.
bruh.
Well, we're gonna keep rolling. 'Cause we
The
are
defense
live on
was
the
well.
radio, at
If we
least.
can keep talking about the Lakers here a little bit.
I mean, holding any team, I feel like to under triple digits is awesome. Holding them to under 100,
Yeah.
I'm always
36 points in the second half was all they allowed,
right.
which
That's insane.
it is the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, there's that obviously, but at the same time, I mean, it's I don't know.
they
Being able to
didn't even
hold-
take a lot of shots. They had 81 shots.
It just shows you the ability to make what I think would be considered halftime adjustments, really. To be able to do that And I don't. I mean, you can't
so
say
we
that,
do have a good coach.
right? I think I said something about that. I can't remember what game that was, but it's just funny because so many people want, if we're losing, then they want to fire Billy. If we're winning, then they love the dude, and I don't know. Anyways,
it's funny here. We got the Thunder's biggest lead was 25 points. The Lakers' biggest lead was 2 points. Six lead changes. The game was tied twice. The Lakers actually outscored the Thunder on fast break points. And the second chance points, it was Oklahoma City had 26 to the Lakers 4, and that's that's a difference maker right there. Points in the paint pretty much even. The Lakers had 48, we had 50.
It's nice to see kind of an overall contribution. Andre Roberson, he first game back only played 17 minutes.
He did not miss.
Yeah, he was 2 for 2. I mean, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. I mean, I think it's safe to say that he has an impact.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to me, that he was the biggest. I mean, over that stretch of games he missed, we break even 4-4, I think. I think a lot of that was obviously missing him. And his teammates even mention it, and that's something that's big to me, is that when you've got all-stars like Carmelo Anthony talking about how big of a role Andre Roberson plays, that's not only telling, but it also probably gives Andre a ton of confidence as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe a break is good for a guy, I guess. Who knows?
Work on some free throws.
He's back.
A
He
bit.
seems like he's healthy. There's that, so...
Moving on to the Cleveland game.
The Cleveland
game.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Goodness gracious. Talking is difficult.
You made a decision.
I made a decision to...
Why don't you tell our listeners about it? We don't have any viewers right now.
We don't have any...
We are down on the camera. I'm trying to figure it out.
We're live on the radio, though, right?
We are on the radio.
Radio listeners.
I'm assuming we have at least a listener because my wife told me she's checking it out.
I knew that.
Anyways,
I knew this game was in Stillwater. I was not thinking at 8 o'clock.
What game? I don't think you said.
Oh, sorry. The Bedlam game.
Bedlam.
OU OSU basketball.
Okay.
I knew it was in Stillwater because they played in Norman a few weeks ago.
Right on.
But at 8 o'clock in the morning when I got a phone call that said, hey, do you want to go to the Bedlam game? I wasn't really thinking about that. And so...
you just heard Bedlam and you're like,
like free Bedlam tickets? Let's do it. So I messaged you and said, hey, I was supposed to do the game that night. And I said, do you mind covering the game for me? That way I can go to this Bedlam game. And he was like, sure. So I travel to Stillwater. And honestly, it was a great environment, really fun game. But
see, I think, just for those of you who do not know... Craig is Sooner born, Sooner bred. I'm an Oklahoma State fan by adoption, I guess you could call it.
The color orange makes me want to puke.
I mean, I hear that a lot, and that's okay. I mean, everybody has...
Unless it's sunset orange.
Of course. We can both get on board with that. But... anyways, you going to Stillwater, I mean, that's... always, potentially sketchy. I don't know. It could be. I was happy to hear though that it went well for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a crazy. I've never heard an arena that loud for a basketball game. The way it's built, it's smaller than the Lloyd Noble Center, but it's compact. You know what I mean? It has. I think it's got like 1,500 more seats than the Lloyd Noble Center.
I don't even know what the total seating is.
It's like just over like 13,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And so. Everything seems so spread out in Norman as opposed to there. Everything is just like you have no room in your seats. Like your, knees are touching. You're rubbing elbows with the people left and right of you.
And I guess back when they've added on in the last, I guess it's been 15 years or so, maybe even longer than that. But back before then, I guess apparently the arena was like straight vertical, so it was like you almost felt like you were on the court or something.
Oh yeah,
is it still
it's like
that,
it's really steep, like going up the stairs. Like I didn't go to at halftime. I didn't leave to go to the bathroom because I didn't feel like dealing with the stairs.
Right.
What I did like about it was in Norman, the student section's only on one baseline, but they've got it on both sides there. So
Oklahoma State?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
both halves, the opposing team has to deal with the students right there in their
that's
face.
wild.
So that's kind of cool that it's kind of split
more
up
like an
that.
NBA atmosphere, I guess you could say.
So despite the Sooners' loss, I had a good time. Had some interactions with some Cowboy fans, but
You said they were mostly good, though.
mostly good.
But some bad ones.
But that's going to be anywhere you go.
Happen, right?
Anywhere you go. They were kids. I'm not mad at them.
Yeah, man, forget kids.
Yeah.
What do they know? Jerks.
Yeah, forget them kids, bro.
Anyways.
All that to be said, I missed an amazing Thunder game, a historic game.
I
was able to watch a little bit on my phone in the car ride home.
For sure.
But it was very, I only could tell it was Westbrook because he was way faster than anybody else. I could, you know what I mean? I could barely make out.
I just want to say that he absolutely abused Isaiah Thomas. And IT had a decent game, but defensively, it's not even a comparison. It's not even close. And I'm actually, I'm an IT fan. I like the guy.
I do too.
I liked him when he was drafted dead last in the whatever draft it was by the Kings. And I think I've said that multiple times, actually.
You have, the last 3 shows.
I just like to point out that I know it, just to prove, I have been on his train for a while. So
did you hear the Kevin Love thing about the team was questioning whether or not he was really sick?
Okay, I didn't know this. The dude left at halftime. Did you know that?
He didn't even stay in the arena.
He went home because he was sick, and then he missed practice on Sunday. And here's my thing. I get it. I get why they're mad. At the same time, they've got Derrick Rose on their team. The dude takes a 2-month break because he's a head case.
Yeah.
So either that tells me that I don't know, they don't think he's important at all to what they're doing, or I don't know what the reasoning is.
It seems like every team that LeBron plays on, there's drama, but I don't even think it's LeBron that causes the drama. I think it's the media more than anything that hypes everything up. They were talking on the Thunder broadcast. I was listening on the radio on the way home, and they were saying, the Thunder had a historic performance, scored more against the Cleveland Cavaliers than any other opponent before, with 148 points. But that's not going to be the headline. The headline is going to be, what's wrong with Cleveland? Mm-hmm. It's not going to be, what did the Thunder do right?
Oh, yeah.
And so the whole media aspect with Cleveland, it's crazy. But this happens every single year. It's they start talking, they'll get bounced. Right now they could get bounced in the first round of the playoffs, but we all know what happens when LeBron makes it to the playoffs. I think maybe you're starting to not be a believer so much in that anymore, but this doesn't change my opinion of anything.
Okay. And here's my thing, though. I understand if, past years, that's been the case. I don't know if you can say that's the case this year. Just where they're at. I mean, they're not doing what they need to be doing. We're past the halfway mark, and they still look like they're... I mean, first off, how do they go on that run of games? I think they won 16 out of 17 games, and now they're where they're at. What? That doesn't even make sense to me.
It's the season.
How do you go from that good? No, that's not... That's like the highest high to... They've lost 9 of 12 now. That's a redonkulous turnaround. And yes, I just use the word redonkulous.
Redonkulous.
I just don't get it.
Anywho, Paul George, every single time I could get my stream to refresh, it seemed like he was knocking down a shot or something.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Overall, it was pretty solid.
But he had 25 in the first half, and then only 11 in the second. Only 11, yeah.
Didn't play much in the fourth quarter.
Right. Carmelo Anthony again had an amazing game. Steven Adams, this is crazy to me. So I was listening to this on the radio. His one miss was a 3-point attempt. Was it like a
right?
Yeah? Was it like a buzzer beater attempt?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
So I technically count that as a perfect game for Steven Adams because
why would you jack that up and miss your shot? Oh no! I don't think it was a buzzer beater.
Was it like a shot clock?
I think it might have been. I'm trying to remember. It's obviously have substance.
I'm just saying, there's no way he willingly took a 3-point shot.
So for funsies.
Anyways, that's crazy. 12 of 12 from inside the paint. This is what I was talking about, man. It's the way he I don't know. It's insane. I've never seen a center do it the way he does with the efficiency.
Where is this? Been?
I told you last year I thought he had the potential to be doing this. I don't think he was healthy. I think he's been dealing with injuries the last 2 seasons. But even though he had those injuries, he was still improving. He still had,
that's
getting better and better. What did I say? He was going to average 15 points this season?
I think so, and he's really close.
Where's he at?
I want to say he's around 13 and some odd, maybe even in the 14s. I do know that he's leading the NBA in offensive rebounds right now, which has been huge for us. I don't know if you noticed, we're moving up the ranks in rebounds per game, something that we have absolutely been dominant in for the last
13.9
years. Man, he's getting there. I mean, I feel like he's gonna. I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna get the 15.
Yeah, but hard to move.
He's pretty dang close.
Like that.
It's nice to see 4 dudes finish 20 plus points. Not a lot of production from the bench. Not exactly, especially in a game like this, you would hope to get 27 points, more than 27 points from the bench. But I'm happy with Dre's stat line.
I am too. Minus the 0 for 4, and I think they were 4 in a row.
Oh yeah, the free throws were bad.
Like he missed 2, then got his own rebound on that.
He went full Dre, like super short then super long, then super short, and they were pretty close together. Oh yeah, that's what it was. He had like, how many rebounds did he have? 6. I think out of those 4 offensive rebounds, like 3 of them came on that one possession. It was insane.
I mean, at least he's not timid. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
at least
he had one play where he got the ball down, got a rebound down low, and just straight bodied J.R. Smith and went up for it. It was a post shot. It's one of those shots that if he'd missed, you would have been so mad about. But when he makes, I'm super pumped about because he's still taking contact, and it's still a difficult shot. Yeah. Above all, we just need Dre to make shots and never have to go to the free throw line.
Basically. I mean, we'll take 4 out of 7. Always.
I think I would rather, if he gets fouled on and ones, I would rather just take a half a point every time. Skip the free throw, just give us the half a point.
0.5.
That's at least 50%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he could shoot 50% right now. But either way, I mean, it's good. Above all, the bench really didn't play all that well outside of Raymond Felton, who, of course, has been kind of a Big Daddy Ray's been the anchor lately. Had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 points. That's a solid stat line for a bench guy, even in a garbage time game.
I saw something going back to this the Andre Roberson free throw thing. I saw something that was like a proposal that's never going to get passed, but that missing a free throw would actually take a point away from the team. And I was thinking, man, we'd be screwed if like a
2-point swing.
It was 1 point for each missed free throw.
Right, but if it's a make, it counts as a point?
Yeah.
That's a 2-point swing.
Right.
That's a terrible idea.
Oh, I know. There's also one for a 4-point shot. It's a bunch of things that would never get, it's never going to happen. It's just a proposal. But
I think here would be my proposal. Instead of doing jump balls, tip balls, you put the ball in the middle of the court and had the 2 guys line up on opposite sides of the court.
And they sprint to it like dodgeball?
Yes. But they have to get the ball back to like a certain spot. And there's no personal fouls. And they have to wear gloves. Like boxing gloves.
Wait, the basketball players?
Yes.
This just got so
yeah,
out of hand.
I'm moving into like some slam ball territory.
Anyways,
stuff.
Anything else for this Cleveland game?
Man, 148 points. That's the most that the Thunder has ever scored in a regulation game. 1 point less than the all-time high for the Thunder organization. Scored 149 against the Timberwolves back in 2011, maybe?
Dang,
and that was a double overtime game. I remember that game because he who must not be named went back and forth with Kevin Love, and it was redonkulous. It was insane.
A name that we
I
didn't
used that again
mention.
because the game was just crazy. They both had like 40-plus points, and it was insane.
Cleveland never led. Thunder
never.
Largest lead was 31 points.
I might say a couple different stats because I read a lot about this game afterwards. Cavs were 3-point favorites to start. Only 10 times in the history of the NBA has a team scored at least 124 points and lost by 24 points.
It's crazy.
10 times. That's insane.
It's a good thing we were scoring because 124 is still a lot.
Well, it appears to be bad defense. I mean, allowed the Cavs to shoot 52% almost from the field, but only 27% from 3. And they did shoot 27 free throws. We shot 18, but still. But here's the thing. I'm looking at pace as fast as we were playing.
Yeah.
The defense is going to get off more shots. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. They only took 89 shots, so, I mean, it's not that terrible. It could have been better. I get that. But at the same time, man, I'll take it.
Yeah, Russ had a season-high in assists with 20.
That's his second ever 20-point, 20-assist game. Second highest 20 assists. His career high is 24? 22.
22, I think. Was it 24?
I think it is 24. I think Rondo had like 27 earlier this
Goodness
season.
gracious.
Well, we don't. Teams don't even get 27 assists. Like how many? We had 37. That's pretty high for. If we could average anywhere near that, because we're like 24th in the league in assists. If Russ could go ahead and just have 20 dimes every single game, I think we'd be set. I think we'd be good. If he could go 20-20,
nice.
If he could go 20-20-10, he almost had that triple-double too. I think he was trying to get it. He was in pretty late in the game, and they finally took him out.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to get to the 20 assist mark.
I think so too.
Cleveland, we once again got outscored in fast break points, 19-10. We doubled them up on second chance points.
Did you see the rebounds?
Yeah.
52-28. They only had 28 rebounds.
We had 12 more points in the paint than they did. Solid performance. I'm happy with the W.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a break.
I picked 2 for 2. I think it's like 2 weeks in a row that I've been right.
Something like that.
Yeah. I'm on fire.
We are going to take a break, get a word from our sponsors. You've been listening to Crossover Radio, radio with a purpose. And when we return, hopefully we'll be live streaming on YouTube as well, because I've maybe figured it out. I don't know. We will see. But we will be back with more Thunder Things with the Thunder Guys after a word from our sponsors.
City Life Community Church is the proud home of Crossover Radio. We are located at 6634 Northwest 36th Street, right here in the heart of Bethany. You can join us for worship at 11 a.m. each Sunday, and if you can't make it, you can hear us right here on Crossover Radio. You can also join us for worship and prayer each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. City Life exists to glorify God by making disciples and doing good in Jesus' name. We are here for Bethany and for the Northwest Oklahoma City communities. We're excited about the opportunity to serve you and your family.
Would your business, organization, or ministry like to connect with our listeners? Crossover Radio is seeking amazing like-minded partnerships to impact our community. Crossover Radio has cheap and affordable sponsorship packages available now. Call us at 405-494-0234 so we can help connect you with thousands of listeners every week right here on Crossover Radio. Again, that number is 405-494-0234. Call us today.
Tired of taking up a seat in church or just watching a production? Join us Sunday at West Metro Community Church in Yukon, a place where your life matters and you are more than a number.
We are located at 601 West Main Street in Yukon, and our worship service is at 1045 on Sunday. For additional information on our student ministry, men's, women's, and mixed small group Bible studies throughout the week, find our information at www.westmetro.org.
Come be a part of a church where all are welcome.
Crossover Radio. Radio with a purpose.
Roberson's your turn first.
We are back. Thunder Things with the Thunder Guys. Zach and Craig here.
Howdy.
What's up next, Craig?
Andre Roberson's return.
And
We talked a little bit about that earlier.
We talked about him, and I just wanted to hit on a couple things. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Dre. A lot of people are coming around because it's pretty obvious how integral he is to the success of the Thunder. And I'm just glad he's back.
I am too.
I was not happy with.
It's not fun to not be healthy.
It's that, and I want us to be the best version of ourselves. I want us to be healthy right now. I want us to be getting ready for the playoffs. I want us to be healthy going into the All-Star break. Everybody get to relax, enjoy themselves. Which, speaking of the All-Star break, breaking news: it looks like Russell Westbrook has been announced as a Western Conference All-Star reserve. It looks like Paul George is not going to be one of the reserves, which just blows my mind. I don't get it. I think it comes down to where they are putting, like categorizing everybody based on positions. And I guess there's just not enough space. It frustrates me because a guy like Draymond Green is going to make it, and I don't know why. Everybody thinks he's super important because of what he does, and his stats aren't that great at all. I feel like you could. He's the guy that I think you could take off that team and wouldn't be that big of a deal. I think if being an all-star
Their
means
average kick to the nads per game would go down.
I think if being an all-star means being a mouth breather and making waffles in the morning because you look like donkey, then that's fine.
The level of hate right now.
I can't stand the guy. I think he's terrible for the league, and I mean that. Like, every part of me. I cannot stand the dude.
What did he say, like, about how many technicals he's been given in ejections? Clearly there's an issue. Yeah, the problem is you.
The issue is you can't keep your hands, feet, mouth, and whatever else to yourself. It's ridiculous. And I'm looking, and it's just... I mean, here's the starting lineup. Curry, Harden, Durant, Davis, and Cousins. And that's fine. I get that. Those guys are all worthy. I can get that. Reserves. Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler. He's been outstanding. Klay Thompson. I don't know if he's been all-star worthy, honestly. Draymond Green. I already commented on that doofus.
I try to watch the Warriors as least as possible.
Same.
I don't watch them unless I have to. So
LaMarcus Aldridge.
I'm not fit to give an opinion.
Who else was on there? Marcus Aldridge.
Karl
Anthony Towns, and
about all the Spurs have right
Damian
now.
Lillard. Huh?
It's about all the Spurs have right now.
Yeah,
So.
and all these guys are worthy.
I'm glad Lillard finally.
I think. I think
his
he
first
deserved
one?
it. I think he had it. What would have been 3 years ago after this one? So, not the last two. I can't remember. But anyways, that's frustrating because I think Paul George being a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, front runner in my opinion, for obvious reasons. I'm a Thunder guy. He plays for the Thunder, but it's whatever. But yeah, back to Dre. Glad he's back. I feel like he's done pretty well in 2 games. He's yet to play 30 minutes in those games.
We are 2-0.
We are 2-0 and back-to-back 24-point victories. I think that says something.
It's got to say something.
It's got to say something.
Say something.
So yeah. But anyways, that's all I have to say about Dre. I feel like you've come around on him. And
I have. I realize he's an important part of this team. I'm glad he's back.
But let's move into our next segment. It's time for Craig's Top 5.
Play my music.
Let's get that music rolling. Give me just a second.
Slacking on the music today.
I know, because I just tried to put it on TweetDeck. This is not Twitter, bros. All right, let's go. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Stuff. Keeping it nice
All right.
and chill.
Today,
Craig's Top 5. And today you're doing your top 5
places that I have traveled.
All right.
Coming in at number 5, the Bahamas. Everybody loves the Bahamas.
I wouldn't know, because I've never been. I would like to go.
Bummer.
You should take me there.
I was really...
And not in like a mandate trip kind of way.
It could be a mandate trip.
I'd be down for a road trip.
I'm
Let's call it a
confident
road
enough
trip.
in myself to go on a brocation.
I would totally do that. My wife would kill me if I did not take her to anywhere away from this place. If I went on a vacation and she was not a part of it, I would probably not be allowed to come back.
You could take her somewhere, and then we'll do our brocation.
Okay,
all right.
Sounds good.
The Bahamas are great. I was a youngin' when I went, but still had a great time. I went to Burger King. There.
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas.
Bahama King.
Yeah. Well,
Burger King?
The thing was, we were trying
They
to
put pineapples on all their burgers.
we were trying to find a place to eat. And we asked this guy, where would you recommend? And he was like, well, what are you looking for? Like $500 or no, $50 to $100 a plate? And we were like, like
$50 to $100.
Yeah, we were like,
be like, yo, are those American dollars or Bahama dollars?
Bahama bucks.
Yeah.
So we went to Burger King because we vacation
$20.
We still ball on a budget while we're on vacation.
I heard that.
So number 4 is Liberia, Costa Rica. I didn't even know Liberia, Costa Rica existed until
I thought Liberia was another country. That
exactly.
Sounds so stupid.
So we were flying to Panama, and usually what happens is when you fly to Panama runs east and west to east. It sits kind of awkward.
Right.
So you have to fly around the country and land on the opposite side. Does that make sense? So when you're coming into Panama, you do a loop around the country because it's very, very, very small.
Like the Indy 500.
Yes, basically. So that's normal. But we were up there for about 45 minutes, and I'm like, I mean, I've flown to Panama. I mean, I don't even know how many times, like lost count, and I'm like, this is not normal.
This ain't right.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, we get the pilot comes on, and he goes, so we cannot land due to weather.
We can't land due to weather. Is it monsoon season?
Yeah, rainy season. And
season.
so
Same thing, right?
Yeah, basically. He was like, we've been redirected to Liberia, and he paused, and we were all like, Liberia. And then he goes, Costa Rica. And we were like, oh, okay. So
Liberia sounds like Siberia. I didn't bring a parka.
It was about another hour to Liberia. We were on the plane for a total of 7 hours.
It should have been like closer to 5.5.
Four-ish, yeah. And so it was ridiculous, but we ended up getting like, so if I have time to tell a little story here.
Oh yeah, you're good.
We everybody was freaking out, you know, like trying to get off the plane, trying to get to the hotel because they compensate you, you know, like you don't pay for anything.
Oh darn!
Yeah.
I gotta stay in a hotel in another country for free.
Everybody was cutting in line to get into this. What is this? Is it the Tipton? Is that the hotel brand or something like that?
Oh, I couldn't tell
And
you.
so
I'm all about like Motel 6.
So anyways, it was like this pretty nice hotel that you could see from the airport. So everybody was like trying to, you know, they were jumping in line, like, yeah, they were fighting. It was ridiculous. And so we're just chilling, like, you know, like,
chill, bro.
And so, like, I guess they were afraid they were gonna get like stuck in some like raggedy
Motel
hotel
6, right?
in Costa Rica. And so we get up to the front, and the lady goes, "I'm sorry, but all of the hotels rooms across the street are booked up.
Wrong.
So we're gonna have to send you to a resort that's a 30-minute bus ride away." And we get to this resort, it's all inclusive.
Oh my gosh.
Like buffet lines for days. And so it was only
you had
one.
Me at buffet.
Yeah, it was only, and so we were just like, so everybody shows up, you know, because it's everybody on the same flight leaving the next day, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, we got to stay at this hotel, and like all of our group was like, yeah, well, we were at a resort, so.
Hey, you know how you have to like order
face.
your food one time and pay for it? Yeah, we just started eating when we got there, and we didn't stop.
Exactly. It's right there on the beach. We got to walk. Had a midnight walk on the beach. So that was fun.
That's right.
But anywho, coming in at number 3 is Boquete, Panama. It's this little area in Chiriquí, and it's different. It's like in the mountains. It stays about 60 to 70 degrees year round there.
That's
like
ridiculous.
Perfect. They have the best strawberries ever. I guess it's like the perfect temperature to grow strawberries, and it's like insane. It's a cool little town. It's nice to go there and get away from the heat that's in the city and whatnot. Number 2, my grandmother is calling me right now, so I have to decline that. Sorry. Number 2 is Grand Cayman. Went to the Cayman Islands for a cruise. Had an amazing time.
Geography me. Where is that?
Oh, somewhere in the Caribbean.
Okay.
I don't even know. Now you're making me look like I don't know
Man,
what
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about.
Central America.
No, not that far down.
Okay.
Further up. Like, somewhere in between Jamaica and Cozumel.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
Anyways, it was a cool place. They have like a place called Hell. And so they sell these shirts that was like, I went to hell and back. And so it's like Hell's Grand Cayman or something.
Okay.
It's a cool little nifty place. And then number 1, my favorite place I've ever been to is Montego Bay, Jamaica. Beautiful place. You're swimming in the ocean, and you can look out and just see like the mountains of Jamaica off in like on the horizon. It's beautiful. I loved it. It's cheap. Everything.
You're making me jealous, man.
Dude, I love Jamaica. I also went to Ocho Rio, Jamaica, it's pretty cool too, but Montego Bay was better. And then honorable mention, I didn't put this on there because it's in Canada, but Niagara Falls is amazing. Okay. I've been there and I loved it. So that's
Did you ride a barrel down it or anything?
I didn't.
Like that? People
still do that, and
that's stupid.
Don't always survive.
That's not a good idea.
Somebody like pushed a girl in a wheelbarrow on a tightrope across. No joke, like.
Why?
Just to do it.
It's for fun.
He walked the tightrope there and back, and then came back and asked for a volunteer. And someone volunteered. Here's my thing.
What if
she freaks out and throws off the balance?
Oh my gosh.
Surely they were hooked up to something, don't you think? Like, just in case? Or maybe not.
I don't know. That kind of takes away from the impressiveness.
Right.
I don't know. There's like a transparent net down there or something.
Like, I'm just saying, like, because I would trust the dude who does this as a living.
I guess.
But to, like, throw in a random person in there.
That's
and, like,
scary.
what if they have a panic attack, start wobbling? Anywho, that's my top 5 for the day.
Moving on. Good top 5. You're making me jealous. Want to go on vacation? I haven't been anywhere in a long time as far as traveling.
Gotta get away.
Went to Tulsa a few years ago.
Nice, man.
It was an overnight trip with the wife, but we don't get to go a lot of places. Maybe that'll change in the future. Next thing I want to talk about, trade deadline is approaching. I think it's 2 weeks away, February 8th, I believe. And I've got 3 questions for you.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. Do it. Shoot.
Okay. I'm gonna ladies out there, and then I'm gonna see what you have to say about them. Okay. First off, number 1, who won't go? Secondly, who could go? And thirdly, who should go? Okay. So, and if you say nobody in any of these categories, that's fine.
Is like Russell Westbrook too obvious to say who
Well,
won't go? Like,
he actually can't go.
Right, that's
Because
what
of his
I'm saying.
mega extension,
Yeah.
he cannot be traded until September 24th, I think. So he's, I mean, that's fine. You can list the obvious ones.
who won't go? Carmelo Anthony,
Carmelo Anthony's not going to go. Who else?
Andre Roberson.
You don't think Dre would get traded?
I don't.
Okay.
No, I think that would have already happened if it was going to happen.
Okay.
Who might go?
Wait, are those the only ones you think that wouldn't go?
I don't think we're going to trade Paul George either. Some people think we
I started to say, you didn't say Paul
Some
George.
people-
I don't think we're going to trade him. I think there are people that still think we could or should or whatever it is, and we went after him for a reason. It would be stupid. We're not going to get what he's worth.
Especially the way that the team is clearly heading in the right direction.
Yeah,
We're 6
for sure.
games above 500 for the first time in the season.
For sure.
Gonna be 7 after tonight.
For sure.
Hopefully gonna be like 12 at the end of these 8 days.
What about Adams?
Is that right? Right maths? No, 11. Steven Adams? No way. I mean, what would we be getting?
I don't even know. We would change the entire dynamic of the team
Exactly.
if we were to trade him.
And
I'm
there's
all
not another
in.
center that I want.
Kiwi's one of my favorite fruits. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Dude, I love kiwi.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so
My
interesting.
daughter saw him the other day, and she's like, "Why does that thing have hair on it?" I'm like, "Yo, chill. You've
Do
never
not
had
judge.
kiwi." She's never had it, and I need to buy some.
You
I
do.
guess, and have her try it because she was straight judging. She had no. I'm like, little girl, you better recognize kiwi's where it's at. Who could go?
Who could go? Realistically, I think we're going to make a move. It would be on the bench. I don't think the starting lineup at this point.
Who do you think's
is gonna
most
be
likely?
touched.
I guess.
Jeremy Grant.
Okay. Just because
I feel like he's an asset that he hasn't been playing extremely well this season for us, but I could see another team wanting what he has to offer.
And I think
he
he might be a little expensive. I don't know. At the end of the season, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I could see
free agency.
another team wanting to jump in on that, and if we can find another piece to improve our bench, that would be awesome.
I could see maybe Alex Abrinas.
See, me too, but who wants that right now?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of teams will look at potential.
And that's my point with Jeremy Grant is that
They're both young guys.
I feel like he has a giant ceiling, especially with his athletic ability.
I would have said, just a few weeks ago, maybe Patrick Patterson because he's looking for more of a prominent role, but he's also wanting to play for a contender. And I don't see the Thunder organization doing him dirty and sending him to a trash team, even if he'll play more,
Right.
but sending him to a trash team because, first off, that looks terrible for the organization. Loyalty does matter, at least a little, especially to the Thunder. And I think if we were to get rid of him, that would look terrible. Who would want to come to Oklahoma City knowing that the risk is you're going to get shipped to some trash team?
Right.
I mean, so I don't know if... I would be shocked to see him leave. I'd be cool if he went to, another contender, because I like the guy. I feel like he's done pretty well for us.
So you agree that it's going to be someone on the bench if a move's going to be made?
Yeah, I don't see a starter getting moved.
Yeah, I don't either.
We have a great starting five. And I don't see... If it were going to happen, it would have had to have happened earlier in the season, I agree. I think we've got a good... People will complain all day about Roberson's contract, which blows my mind, especially after he had to sit out. You look at other guys around the league, how much they're getting paid for what they're not doing.
Right.
And people got to realize a player is worth what he can give you, not what he can give the rest of the league. And that's my thing. I think we got a steal. I think we got him for a steal. I said all last year that he was going to demand around 12 or 13,000 million.
Dude, that'd be on the cheap.
12 or 13 million dollars a year. Some people thought he was going to go as high as 15 or 16. I said, nah, that's not going to happen. And he ended up at what, 10?
Yeah.
That's a steal to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's worth that.
What about Dakari Johnson? Who I saw the other night.
You think he would get traded?
That's what I'm asking.
Or I think he's too young. I don't know who would really want him, like what he's going to offer anybody. I guess guys like that who haven't played much could always be like that last trade piece. I'd rather it be Kyle Singler, but nobody wants that contract because no matter what the NBA looks like salary cap wise, that contract will always be El Terrible.
Yeah. Because
he's not gonna play anywhere. All right. I almost wish we'd just send him to the G League and let him get buckets there, but then even do that.
Speaking of seeing him out, I always like seeing guys going out into the city, participating, doing things. My girlfriend goes, "That guy's really tall," and I looked up and I was like, "Oh, hey, that's the."
Where was this at?
This is at Pink Parrot, downtown. He was just chilling with a hoodie.
The Thunder had their meet and greet the other day. And a friend of mine was sending me pictures. Her son got invited, and I was like, "What?" He was playing video games with Alex Abrinas.
What?
Man. He was taking pictures with Melo and Paul George and Russell Westbrook, and I was like, "Man, I never got to do that kind of thing as a kid." I would be like losing my mind as a grown man, but oh my gosh, I'd be too excited. But anyway, so who, if anybody, should go? And be realistic. Obviously people are going to say Kyle Singler, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
Speaking of a guy that no one's going to want to bite on.
Do you think there's anybody that should go? Just is a waste of space, has talent, needs to go somewhere else. We could get something for him, but he's just not fitting in here. Is
it's going to be Alex Abrinas, if you ask me.
And I hate to say that.
I do too, because I love the
dude.
guy. Yeah.
But where he's at right now, I'm just not sure he fits into the rotation. Now, with that being said, I don't necessarily think that means we need to bail on him just yet because he's young, for one. For two, we don't know what next year's going to look like outside of Russ, Adams, Dre. Those are the three guys I look at that they are going to be here no matter what.
Right.
Beyond that, we got a lot of question marks. I'll tell you right now, we didn't say his name because I think it'd be kind of pointless to try to trade him because he's just on a 1-year contract. Raymond Felton. We signed.
I said because I would be so sad if that happened.
It wouldn't be worth it for us to trade him anywhere unless it was like a straight trade, like LeBron for Raymond.
Hey, dude.
Salaries don't match up, so it wouldn't help. I hope we sign him again after this season.
I do too.
And that's. We're halfway through the season. I'm saying that right now. I want to see him get some of that.
I think he likes being here.
I do. I think he does too. He likes playing with Russell Westbrook. He's kind of,
especially where he's been stuck in the past.
He is like the bench leader. He's Big Daddy Ray. I think,
and he's accepted that role.
He has, and he's excelled at it.
When he got put on the bench a couple of years ago, I think he was kind of upset about it. He wanted to be the starting guy. He wanted to be the guy, which is understandable. But I think now he's kind of embraced that, taken ownership of it.
For sure.
It's helping us out big time.
And since we are talking about Raymond Felton, I think it's that time of our segment. It's time for Zach's weekly rant. So, I put my rant pants on, and this week, my topic of discussion is quit bagging on Oklahoma City's bench. Not you, but I see so many people nationally that want to call the Thunder bench bad or terrible or it needs help or whatever that may be. And while we may be one more piece away from being true competitors, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. Here's some stats for you. And these are going to blow your mind in a bad way. The Thunder bench is 27th in the league in minutes per game. They don't play very much. Right. It's like 17 minutes a game total. Excuse me. They are 28th in points per game, 27th in field goal percent, 27th in three-point percent, 27th in rebounds per game, 29th in assists per game, 24th in steals per game. Those are not good numbers. The good ones, 5th in turnovers. They don't turn the ball over very much, which is kind of surprising. 9th in blocks per game. Thank you, Jeremy Grant. Only 3rd in personal fouls. They do a really good job of not fouling. And perhaps the most important stat compared of this year to last year is 13th in plus minus with a positive 0.3 points. That is so
solid.
important. Okay, a few things here. Third in personal fouls, that's huge. Being able to defend and switch on rotations and stuff like that without fouling is so big. And when you've got a guy like Alex Abrinas who seems to foul everybody and their dog, but you look at these numbers, these are they're not there to score. They're not going to score. And I'm okay with that. They are there to maintain. Don't blow it. That's what I think when they go in. Don't blow it.
Like last year?
Like last year. Okay, Russell Westbrook would go out and it would just be, well, there goes that 20-point lead.
If they don't give up more than a 10-point deficit,
yes,
we'll be okay.
We
it's
can
like,
be
was
all
the
right.
mindset.
And this year, it's a little bit different. They're not, I feel like they're more composed, and because of that, Raymond Felton. He's the guy running the show. Everybody else is a little bit more grown up. Jeremy Grant's been in the league a little bit longer. Alex Abrinas even, he's a second-year player. We've got a veteran, Patrick Patterson. He's been knocking down some shots lately. I'm not the guy that says we have to trade, we have to get better, we have to get somebody else. If we could genuinely improve, and I'm talking about really push the line to push us to be able to compete at a higher level, then I'm okay with making a move. But otherwise, let's roll with what we got. We're doing something good right now. We look good this season against these top-tier teams. Let's roll with it, okay? And I'm not the only one that thinks this. Fred Katz wrote an article just this last week. He pushed it several times in the Cavs game because the bench was not doing well. He's like, well, it's a good thing I wrote this. Basically talking about, he had more detailed stats about the importance of the bench. And then Matt Moore, he writes for a couple different things. I follow him on Twitter.
Matt Moore.
Hardwood Paroxysm. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I just didn't know if you're talking about like the backup quarterback of the Dolphins or
No,
like.
I think that's his name, Matt Moore. I'm gonna feel real dumb if it's not. Yeah, Matt Moore.
Wow.
Okay, not
Okay.
the Dolphins guy.
Okay.
Okay, this guy is not a dolphin. He's a person.
That's
Okay. Somebody tweeted at him and said, "Can you explain the logic behind having a big-ish three and still playing all bench lineups?" Totally not looking at you, Billy Donovan. And you and I have been critical / praising these all bench lineups because they've done decent work at times. And this is what Matt Moore's response was. People will disagree, but I think Oklahoma City's bench is pretty decent to good. And the more minutes you have the big three on the floor together, the more firepower you have. And a lot of people don't realize that that's true. So many people, myself included, think that we need to have one of those big three on the court at all times. But when we look at it, Melo did okay with the bench early in the season. Paul George has done okay at times. Russ is not going to be that guy. That's just not his. He works best with other stars on the court. That's where he's going to be able to flourish. The thing is, I agree with what he's saying. When those three are on the court together, damage gets done. We have one of the best starting lineups in the league. When you look at compared to other starters, it's like top 5 even, I think. The bench is where we suffer. But when you look at some of these games lately, like what Raymond Felton was able to do in Charlotte against the Hornets, I almost said the Bobcats. They haven't been the Bobcats in a while. And
I did that a few podcasts ago, yeah.
But the thing is, when we've got guys that like him, they're able to step up. Patrick Patterson, he's been knocking down some shots. The thing is, Billy Donovan trusts Raymond Felton. We have not had a backup point guard that we can genuinely trust in years. We've had guys that have had potential, but not when Raymond Felton's on the court running the show. And we said this last week.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
Run that thing. Knock some shots down. The bench. This is part of Fred Katz's article. I need to make sure and give him credit because this is not for me. The bench shoots a higher volume of threes than the starters do. Most of the bench's shots come from in the paint or from three. Those are the most efficient shots that NBA players can shoot. And I'm cool with that. 3-point percent is not great, but those guys, some of them can get hot. We've seen Terrence Ferguson go nuts. We've seen Raymond Felton go nuts. Josh Eustace can knock down some. He can throw down some with some dunks, just like Jeremy Grant.
Terrence Ferguson
Can sky high. Put somebody in the dunk contest.
When is he going to get an invite?
I don't know. I'm still waiting. I don't know. I don't think they've announced it. I saw something earlier today.
Somebody got it.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah.
Well, said that he was, and then he confirmed that he hadn't been or something. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was a weird happening. So I don't even really know what's going on with that. But anyways, so when it comes down to it, I like our bench. I like what they're doing. Maintain, and we're good, and I'm happy with that, and we'll move on from there. We're coming down to, we got about 10 minutes before we got to scoot out of here and head on downtown to the game. So another week we're going to have to skip over our power rankings. That's okay. Posted them yesterday. Go check those out.
I have the Thunder. I will say the highest I've had them in a while. I think they're like number 6 on mine.
I think you've got them at 7 because I've got them at 7 also.
Okay. Well, they've been like 9 or 10.
Yeah,
so.
they've barely been in. I think at the beginning of the season, I had them at like 3 or something like that, and they just quickly dropped, I should say.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're moving up, and I don't. Man, we're like 3 games out of 3rd place.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Dude, I told you we're fine.
The Spurs, Kawhi Leonard, he's hurt. There's a report that he's not happy. He came out and said that none of that's true.
Oh yeah,
like his camp said that, and I don't.
It's hard to believe that he's the kind of guy that
he has feelings because he's a cyborg,
right?
But regardless, if that team can't get healthy, I really just don't know how long they're going to be able to do what they're doing.
Right.
LaMarcus Aldridge is having an all-star season, obviously, but he's not going to be able to carry this team.
I know we're short on time here, but speaking of trades, is the Enes Kanter to Golden State rumor true?
There's no way. I think he would.
He would hard pass.
He would take his chances in Turkey before he'd go to Golden State, and I hope that's not offensive.
Yeah,
but anyways, point being is he hates Golden State, and I don't know how that would. It'd be hilarious if he had to walk in and give Kevin Durant a hug.
There's no way.
So mad. I don't see it happening. But so, anyways, I want to talk about some tweets of the week. We started this last week. It was kind of fun. Some different stuff from around NBA Twitter. I don't know if you saw this, but Kobe Bryant a couple days ago, around the NFL playoffs been going on. The Patriots, Eagles meeting up in the Super Bowl. I know you like Tom Brady because he's the GOAT.
Yeah, I want to clear that up. I don't like the Patriots.
Correct.
I like Tom Brady.
Okay. Well, Kobe is from Philly. Okay. And he tweeted, "Getting there wasn't the goal at Eagles. Let's finish the job. #focus. # Super Bowl." And I sent that to my friend James because James is a huge Kobe fan and he's a huge Patriots fan, and he was really struggling. He was torn. But anyways, so I thought that was kind of cool to see. I always think it's cool to see professional athletes from other sports cheer for other. It's just cool. Even like with what's his face, Chewy mouthpiece guy wanting to buy a piece of the Carolina Panthers. You know who I'm talking about, right? You're not gonna make me say his name. Steph Curry. I think it's cool that guys like to get involved in other sports like that. I like to see that they're fans. I know Russ is a big Dallas Cowboys fan, so yeah. But anyways, moving on. Other tweets that caught my eye. LeBron gave DeMarcus Cousins a shout out yesterday. He said, "Yo, at Boogie Cousins, chill out, man. Sheesh, super sick stat line." I didn't see the actual stats. I saw that he had like 100 and something fantasy points.
Yeah, he had like 40-something points, 20-something rebounds, 20-something. It was ridiculous.
That's crazy. Well, then somebody quote tweeted it and said, "So Boogie can be sick, but not Kevin Love, SMH." So
LeBron is becoming like the dad of the league, like tweeting other players.
He is, and I just thought it was funny because Kevin Love's been getting all this crap, and
I like Kevin Love.
So do I. I mean, cut the guy some slack. Woj, I got a tweet from him.
Is it Woj or Woj?
Is it Wojnarowski?
I always said Woj bombs, but maybe it's Woj.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. I just say Woj bombs because I don't know. Anyways, Adrian Wojnarowski, whatever it is, he tweeted, "The Spurs may have a deal with Indiana for Kawhi Leonard," sources say. And to clarify, he tweeted this at 8:01 p.m. on June 23rd, 2011. This was back around, I'm assuming it had to do with trade night, when the Spurs got him. Well, somebody was a jerk and retweeted it, and you should read the comments. People lost their minds. Shea Serrano, writer of basketball and other things in the Rap Yearbook, he's a huge, notorious Spurs fan. And he was like, "Let me off this plane. I will sprint back to San Antonio and take care of this." Like, he was losing his mind. And then he goes, "Oh my gosh, I just went headfirst into the volcano that is this mess," because he realized he got caught up in it. And it was hilarious. I was cracking up. Next, back to LeBron. Did you see his Instagram post?
About him, like, back in high school?
Yeah. He wrote himself a congratulations.
Yeah. I liked it.
I think it's somebody said, "Oh, so now we're just out here stealing Players Tribune ideas," because they do like letter to my younger self and stuff like that. So, anyways, I guess he's assuming he's going to get those How many is it? 8 points tonight? Gosh, Mr. Cocky Pants. I think he's probably going to get it.
Oh, yeah.
He'll break 30,000, join that list of what will be 7 people. That's pretty rad. So, anyways.
I have one. I know you're disappointed I didn't have any tweets, but you said Shea Serrano.
Okay.
It reminded me.
All right. I hope it's appropriate because he can be a little foul sometimes.
It is.
But anyways,
It is.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Someone tweeted, what if Kawhi went to the Rockets? And he responded, what if I karate kicked you in the throat?
He does not mess around with the Spurs,
Yeah.
and he hates the Rockets. You got to read his book. It's so full of just like his tweets, basically. This other one isn't a funny one. It's kind of crazy, but at Mike Prada SBN, he actually pulled a screenshot from an article by Zach Lowe. Not me, Zach Lowe, but the Zach Lowe. People confuse me for him all the time, and I must say it's super unfortunate that I share a name with somebody who's actually famous in the field of sports journalism. But listen to this. Talking about John Wall, he's unhappy that he was not a starter in the All-Star game.
He shouldn't even be in the All-Star game.
He shouldn't be. He said all kinds of ridiculous things. He thinks he's the best two-way player, two-way guard in the league.
See, he spends more time walking around.
That's what this is. It says Wall is shooting 42%, his lowest mark since he was a rookie, and he just hasn't played with enough vigor on either end of the floor. One measure of that, he has spent 76.57%, so 3/4 of his time on the floor, either standing still or walking. The largest such share among all rotation players, according to tracking data from Second Spectrum. Dirk Nowitzki is right behind Wall, and he's almost 40.
Yeah.
Two-way players don't spend 3/4 of their game walking. Now, somebody tried to point out, well, he walks the ball up the court a lot. Nah, fam, that ain't how this game works. Okay? If you're a defender, you're running. If you're a transition guy, you're running. It made me remember there was some Wizards fan like 2 or 3 years ago tried to convince me that John Wall was better than Russell Westbrook, and I about lost my mind. We went back and forth for a little bit, and I was just like, this dude is off his rocker. Because to me, there's no comparison. John Wall is an excellent player, and I've seen him do some pretty incredible things. He's kind of a fun guy to watch offensively sometimes. But the dude has turned into a jerk, and who cares what he has to say? Who cares? I'm not a fan of the guy. That's lazy basketball, and we see too much of that. Okay? We're almost out of time. We got to hurry up. We got to get on the road. Looking at the week ahead, we don't really have time to talk about a lot of the games. Let's talk about Brooklyn tonight.
Breeze through it.
We should rip them apart.
We should.
I feel like.
If we lose, I'll be
mad.
Probably
Okay.
the most angry I've been in a while.
We play Brooklyn at home tonight. We play the Wizards at home on Thursday. We play the Pistons in Detroit, I think. In Detroit on Saturday. And then we play the 76ers on Sunday at home. What would make you thrilled? What would make you content? What would make you upset, angry, depressed?
Thrilled. Obviously, winning all 3 of these games would make
Four.
me...
4 games.
4? Where's the 4th one?
Nets, Wizards, Pistons, 76ers.
I've lost me Nets.
Right there, bro.
Oh.
Nets.
Oh, okay,
Wizards,
yeah.
76. Yeah, there you go.
So
4-0.
4-0 would be
Just wins.
thrilled. Just wins. I know you always like to throw a point number out there, but if we win each of these games by a point, I'll be happy.
I'm cool, and here's why. I know you're big on the Wizards this season. I'm not impressed at all. They're a head case.
Listen, I just like Scott Brooks.
That's fair. I like
Scotty.
The 76ers are on a roll lately. They've been playing really well. Joel Embiid is probably still not playing after the triple overtime against the Thunder back in the day. Whenever that was. I hope he plays, and I hope Adams just destroys him, and I hope
He's so
Embiid
tired.
talks. And yes, I hope he talks the whole game and just gets rimrocked. I can't stand the guy now. He's funny and all that, but man, he has not... Play a whole season before you can actually talk.
Right.
And the Pistons, I want to beat them in Detroit so bad, especially after what Reggie Jackson did last year in that game that did not even matter with the whole waving and all that kind of... Or was it 2 years ago? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Realistically, I could say... I mean, we should beat all 4 of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's possible we slip up in Detroit.
I think it's okay to go 3-1.
Yeah, of course.
That back-to-back in Detroit, that might be hard. 3-1, I'd be content with. Really, 2-2 or worse is going to make me pretty frustrated. These are all winnable games
Yeah.
for sure. So, anyways, I think we're done here.
Sucks we had to rush out a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I hate that especially because we're on this new time and everything where we get to do this. And I'm gonna give us some outro music.
But hey, we get to go to the game. We're trying to make it by tip off.
Right on. So, with that said, we're looking forward to another awesome week of Thunder basketball. Thank you for tuning in, and
See you next week.
see you next week. Thunder up.